If you're a new agent, your brokerage has probably lied to you about lead generation. Not because they're evil, but because it benefits them, not you. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the biggest myths that brokerages push that honestly just keep agents stuck. All the top agents that we've worked with here at Amass Estate don't rely on brokerage leads for predictable business. They rely on their own system that they have control over and that they own. So let's run over a few myths that brokerages push that completely mislead agents. Number 1, brokerages rely on agent turnover. The average brokerage expects 70% of new agents to actually fail out of the business. Their business model isn't about turning you into a top producer. It's about hiring a volume of agents and just hoping a few survive. Number 2, they teach free methods that sound smart but actually aren't scalable at all. Yes, there's a world where sphere of influence, repeat clients, open houses work, but it is never going to be consistent and scalable. You can't control when a friend says your name to another friend. You can't control how many people walk into your open house. There's too many uncontrollable variables for these things to be what you base your income off of. You know, if anyone's in sales, you understand that you typically are the provider. You have the uncapped earning potential in the family. The fact that you're going to base, you being able to pay rent off of repeat clients, sphere of influence is honestly just insane to me, as they are all completely uncontrollable variables. Number 3, brokerages actually benefit by agents staying dependent to them. If the only place you get clients or feedback or leads is your brokerage, you're obviously going to be dependent on them. They get your split the longer you stay stuck with the company. If you are generating your own business and you want to go out on a whim and start your own thing because you're actually seeing success, you want to start your own brokerage or you want to implement your own system, they understand that that equals you. The more success that you have actually means a higher chance that you leave the brokerage, or you want to ask for a smaller split, or you actually want to leave and not have a split whatsoever. They actually understand that the longer you actually are stuck in that up and down spiral, that roller coaster business, the less of a chance you have to actually leave the system, right? And honestly, it's very, very clear. When they want you reliant on sphere of influence, repeat clients, open houses, cold calling, door knocking, stuff that's going to burn you out, stuff that doesn't work. And it's because they want you in this up and down spiral, because if you're in that up and down spiral, you actually never have the chance to invest back in your business and leave the brokerage and ultimately get away from that 20, 30, 40% split that you work so hard for, that all they do is just sit in the back and provide a lead opt-in from the website or provide some training here that you can get on YouTube. At the end of the day, they don't provide enough value to actually justify a 20, 30, 40% split in most cases, and yet you see it all the time. Agents just handing it over simply because it's just a traditional part of the business, but it does not have to be that way. And number 4, emotional pain plus belief breaking. Now, let me explain this one a little bit. So many new agents burn out of the business because they think that they are the sole problem, when the truth is they've never been taught how to generate predictable, consistent business in the first place. And so I want to take a second to just explain and show you guys what has worked for all of our partnering agents across the US. And coming from a business owner, we understand how hard it is out there. If we can just help a few agents implement their own systems and realize that, oh, my business doesn't always have to just be inconsistent all the time, or wondering where my next deal is going to come from. I can actually control it. It's not just the market. It's not just the market's, what the market's doing right now. I can actually control where my business is coming from. That will be a win for us. So let me dive in and explain. So we are huge believers in the 3-part framework, or a 3-part live transfer funnel. Essentially what this means is you're just going to have 3 parts to the funnel. One is going to be lead gen front end. The second part is actually going to be qualifying, getting the pass offs over to you. And then the third is actually going to be all the follow up and nurture, all the tech you need on the back end. So let me explain. So for part 1 of the funnel, we want you to own your own traffic source. Okay. So this is going to be meta ads, YouTube content, social funnels, home value offers, Any way you can get consistent lead generation on your own, that you own. All the leads are exclusive to you. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. For example, for all of our partnering agents across the US, we use like meta ads, and you can literally like control the type of leads you're getting in the door by the offers that you run on the front end. You can also control the volume. So do we want 100 leads this month? Do we want 1,000 leads this month? And what specific type of those leads do we want as well? Like, you can control all of that. Same with YouTube content, same with like a social media funnel. So a lot of agents don't really think about this, but instead of just doing social media, you know, social media is great. Start building up a brand and stuff. But to get that consistent at some point, you actually need to have a funnel in place where people are liking or commenting for some sort of action, where you send them an opt-in to a webinar or something. Like, you have to actually like think about this. Like, you can't just post on social media and think, oh, I'm going to get deals. No, there's like a science behind it, right, for it to become predictable and consistent. And so basically what this is going to break down to at some point, whether it be meta ads or social media funnels, these are going to have different qualities, right? So you're going to be looking at like meta ads and be like, okay, from our numbers specifically, we see about 1 of any 75 to 100 leads actually ever convert. On your social media funnel, those are people kind of taking an action, you know, just based off of social media. They've already seen your content. That might be a little higher. That might be between anywhere from 30 to 50 people that actually enter the funnel convert, if I just, you know, had to go off of a whim. So once you start running these funnels, you're actually going to see a difference in quality. And then from there, it's basically just looking at your numbers. Okay, 1 in 30 people convert off my social media funnel. How do I get 90 people a month in my funnel? That's 3 extra deals per month, right? And that's something that you can start to get consistent and predictable, and you own it. You own it, and you don't have to pay anyone a 20, 30, 40% split just because they helped you get a lead or they provided us Backend CRM or coaching. We've created all of this for our partnering agents, and we don't even take a 20, 30, 40% split from our agents. We want you to own the system. It's literally free to get started, and it's completely performance-based. Like, we are a clear example of what actually trying to solve a problem looks like, opposed to brokerages where it's like, they benefit off not actually solving the problem, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is prospecting. Basically, in prospecting, a lot of agents are doing the wrong work, and let me explain. New agents are told to door knock or cold call or do open houses or, you know, speak at events or talk to your friends and things along those lines. Look at your top producers where this is their sole part of income. They're not in their retirement years yet. Look at what they did to get to where they are today. It was most likely not a door knocking team. It was not a cold calling team. It wasn't open houses, but they have an actual funnel in place. It wasn't referral, serial influence, repeat clients. It's actually some form of funnel that they had in place. Now, I'll actually go back on my word here because it could have been a cold calling funnel. It honestly could have been like a door knocking team. It could have been like, it could have been a huge cold calling team. Like, it could have been like 10 agents cold calling every single morning. But that's because you can actually control the variable. That you can control the input that you put in. Therefore, you can control the output. So I don't want to knock on cold calling or door knocking. I think they're really good. I just think they're outdated opposed to new methods that we could use for controllable variables. I just want to make that pretty clear there. When you could have, you know, an ISA filtering serious leads, you could have an automation nurture cold leads, you could have, you know, meta ads running for you on the back end, and so you never even have to make those cold calls where you only talk to pre-qualified prospects. Like, there's just a bunch of other stuff that you could have in place nowadays with the advancement of technology and just outsourcing talent. And so basically what I mean when I say this is you should just be having more conversations, not chasing them. And so from your front end funnel, how this would tie in is basically having like an ISA or a virtual assistant call all your front end leads, whether it be from your social media funnel, whether it be from your meta ads funnel or something like that, your YouTube video funnel. Have someone call all those leads that come in on your behalf and just send you the ones that are worth your time. And so you're basically only speaking to like 5 or 10 actually interested people that can do something within the next like 3 to 6 months, opposed to calling all those leads on your own. Number 3 is basically just going to be the process. So how can we turn chaos into predictable income? So in this kind of part, I'm going to be talking about the back end. So we're going to be looking at CRM, automation, drip sequences, data tracking, and all that stuff. So we knocked out part 1 and part 2. So you need one pipeline, one follow-up system, one appointment setting process, okay? Most agents never set this up and it gets too complicated for them. Alex Hormozy said you only need one outreach method, one niche, and one system to get to $1 million a month, okay? So you don't need to be doing YouTube plus Facebook plus social media funnel. Pick one and go all in it. You don't need to have, a ton of different qualification funnels. You can split test, but you always want to go back to one, okay? So we highly recommend, from all the data that we've tested, an actual physical human being, like a virtual assistant or an ISA, to call all the leads for you on your behalf and live transfer. So whenever the lead's qualified, be like, hey, I have lead on the other line. Can I make the connection to them? They're going to be the one that can help you out. And then basically actually live transfer a live phone call recording over to you. So you can just set the consultation on that phone call. Works like a charm. And then backend systems, making sure that you're just using one CRM, you're not using multiple CRMs. And also track your data. I don't know if I've ever hopped on a call with an agent that actually is tracking their data properly. What are your show up rates? What are your close rates? How many appointments have you taken, this year? Which of them were qualified versus unqualified? How many calls did it actually take to get that appointment, to get that deal? What's your call to deal rate? What's your open house to deal rate? Like, agents don't know this data a lot of the time, and it actually amazes me because that's the only way you actually know what's working, what's not working, and what you can do more of, right? So if you don't have data set up, I would highly recommend taking the time to actually get that data set up so you know where your deals and leads are coming from and what's actually equaling deals. And then, sooner or later, you'll see, 4 open houses equals a deal. Let me run 4 open houses a day. And so that's kind of everything A to Z about just like why I think you should realistically, just logically, have a conversation with ChatGPT about your brokerage setup. Does it make sense for me to be giving my brokerage this much money? How should I be generating my leads? Should I be doing sphere of influence? I know they're good leads, but is it ever actually going to give me the consistency and the predictability that I want? What you need to do to actually solve the problems that are coming up within the business. And it'll tell you, hey, yeah, referral, repeat clients, word of mouth, it's all great business, but yeah, it'll never get you out of that up and down rut, like that roller coaster feel. It'll tell you if they do or do not think you should be paying your brokerage 20, 30, 40%, regardless of what ChatGPT says. I'm biased. I don't think you should be paying your brokerage anything. You're a business owner, be independent, go run your business. You don't need to be handheld by a brokerage. And again, I get so passionate about this because I genuinely don't think they solve a problem for real estate agents. They've just made agents dependent on a system that, forces 70% of the business to actually fail at the end of the day, because agents never actually get to go be independent business owners, and so they get lazy and they fail out of the business. So if you're tired of relying on your brokerage's outdated advice and you want a system in place that you actually can own and control, just go ahead and comment your market down below. So just in the comment section, comment your market, and I'll let you know the exact system that we've set up in your market to already help one of our partnering agents. We've been in over 50 markets across the US, so unless you're in Hawaii or Alaska, I'm sorry, but we haven't worked in those markets. We can still probably help you out. And if you want help building it out, there will be a link down in the description. But if you just want me and my team to actually implement this system for you, completely hands-off, we'll implement it for you within 4 to 5 days. The full top-end social media funnel to generate the consistent leads, the ISA in place to qualify them all on your behalf to just send you over live transfers, and the full backend CRM fully taken care of with follow-up text, nurture, data tracking, speed to lead times, lead to live transfer rates, lead to closing rates, the whole 9 yards on the back end. We literally build it within 5 to 7 days. We have guarantees. We have some free options, some paid options. It just depends what makes the most sense for you. There'll be a link down in the description. You can book a call with me or someone from my team, and we'll be able to help you out. Other than that, if you don't want to, just keep enjoying the free value, keep enjoying the free videos on the channel. Our mission is to help agents implement their own systems. So other than that, if you don't want to book a call with us or anything along those lines, no worries. Just keep enjoying the free content, and I'll catch you guys next week.